Welcome to the group chat with Tara Thomas and Amanda Goodman of Faith and Four Letter Words.
Happy Friday. We made it. We made it. Not in a good mood all week because with 6 baseball games, picture yourself sitting in the frozen tundra of Alaska.
You don't. I don't have. You're just joining the season. Like we have been sitting in soccer season, and it's literally been. It's horrible.
It's awful, and
awful.
I cannot enjoy what we're supposed to enjoy. Right, our bleacher years.
You are already cold. I mean, you get cold very easily as well. So this is not good for you.
So I wanted to tell you this. The other day when I had to go in and get it was like a routine physical, my top number on my blood pressure was 75. And so then the nurse said, I think I did this wrong. And I said, no, I just have very low blood pressure.
I have really low blood pressure too, but that's a catatonic.
So I think that is part of why I'm always freezing.
Well, I also want to give you yes, I do want to give you my advice is this. So, I mean, obviously baseball traditionally warm season sport, correct? Just change your mind.
One would think, right?
Just in your head, you gotta be like, we're playing fall ball right now.
Yeah, well, here's the crazy thing. Fall ball was warmer than spring ball. Spring ball was the coldest spring we've ever probably experienced.
Someone's probably gonna blame the data center for the temperature.
I have no climate, agenda here whatsoever. I hate it. And I think that for anyone who wants to do, all the things to say, I love the 4 seasons. It's really not 4 seasons. Like our spring should be more mild, right?
Spring should be like low 70s.
Yes. Thank you.
High 60s. It's just not that. First of all, I also want to say that nobody said it was going to rain yesterday. Not one person said it was going to rain yesterday. So it was our senior night at soccer.
Mr. Telemundo, get me my pitchforks. We're going after the meteorologist.
We're going. I mean, this is what's funny. We were at a game and it was senior night and it started to rain. And then people were like, they didn't call this. And then people were saying, did so-and-so call this to me? And I said, once again, meteorologists can be wrong 50% of the time.
It's so funny how they're like deferring to you since you are like 6 degrees of separation from the meteorologist.
But then I always have to add, like, I took meteorology 3 times in college. And not because I was taking 3 different levels. I took the same class 3 times because it was,
So we want to do what we like to call a station ID because it's been brought to our attention that there are quite a few people who are either new to the show or who were not aware that we were doing the show. Mm-hmm. And so we appreciate that the message is reaching a new audience. So I'm Tara Thomas. She's Amanda Goodman. And in a nutshell, we're 2 washed up former TV news anchors turned loudmouths that like to have, I guess we've always been loudmouths, but we enjoy imparting all of the views and dissecting all the things. And this Faith and Four Letter Words live stream is an accompaniment to our show, our in-person show. And we are back on the road next week at the Cedar River Complex in Osage. Tickets have been selling like crazy because we all need a break from cold sports and grad parties and all the things. So join us this upcoming Wednesday night, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Cedar River Complex. And we should also mention that if you ever join this stream late or you don't watch it in its entirety, it is permanently housed on our Faith and Four Letter Words YouTube page, which is a weird, we're YouTubers, basically. My son had dreamed of riding around in a van someday and being a YouTuber, and now his mom gets to live that dream.
We've done it all. We've done it all, kids. We've done it all, kids. I was laughing last night. So this is something that women will understand, when the gray starts coming in. I think I probably would be all gray up top. So I was blonde, like you're blonde. You're a natural blonde, but I was blonde like yours forever. And then it was...
I'm no longer a natural blonde. These are highlights.
Oh, well, that. But my hair is very dark. And so it was like constantly going. And then it was like, the older I got, it was just, I didn't look good as a blonde. And then the blonde, But now, I'm a natural dark. I like the brunette hair. But now it's like the gray comes in. And so, my dear friend who does my hair, she's always like, it's not gray, it's sparkle. It's gray. Like, it's not like it's gray. And so now it's like I had to like move my part over today because I'm like, it's just, I look like last night in senior night pictures, I saw my hair because I have the long hair and then like I see the gray. I'm like, I look like I should have my, witch's brew. Because that's my thing. Like once I get like, I can't, I'll cut it all off.
And for those of you that are like us and you years ago thought it was, really a privilege to be able to like get your nails done or get your hair done. Now it's a chore to keep up with all the things. I mean, and it's sad because we appreciate all the stylists who are very efficient. Mine can get me in and out, like full highlight, blowout, and a cut in like 2 hours. She's or less. She's amazing. But when you think of how much time you have to commit to like keep trying to keep up appearances, it's a lot. It's a lot. So if you do lash extensions, if you do nails, if you do highlights and a regular, haircut or your full head colored, I mean, that's like so many hours out of your life that you have to start like multitasking.
It's too much. It's too much.
So sometimes we work while we're getting stuff done. We do our emails.
Well, you have to. And I have to go like real early before work. So I'm thankful that I don't go too super early, but I go early before work to get it all done.
So you can get in before you start your day.
I do want to say something so my brother is in town from Maine. He was here to watch my daughter's, one of her soccer games. So he comes in, he always talks about shows. And so we were talking about HBO and he was talking about the show called The Task. And it's about Delco, Delaware County, Pennsylvania. And so anyway, so I was on HBO last evening and there's a Mean Girl Murders. So I took, because you know how I've done the Mackenzie Shirillo, The Crash on Netflix. We were talking about that. So there is another episode about her. And I believe it's season 2, episode 7. I memorized it for you all. Season 2, episode 7 on HBO, The Mean Girl Murders. Originally, it was on ID.
Okay.
So it shows this other angle of this girl. And this is from the girls in high school because she was a mean girl. And they were comparing her. They said she wanted to be Regina George. I mean, and they said when she was walking down the hallway, it was best just to get out of her way because you didn't want to make eye contact because she was really, really like viciously mean, allegedly. And then so it's
unbelievable. It
paints a story. And then I'm learning about how she is in prison. She's had a lot of, she's been written up a lot for running. Yeah.
So if you have
gotta go, I'm deep in this case.
What we're talking about. It's a show on Netflix, a documentary called The Crash, based on a true story, where this person she's speaking of is the villain at the center of it. And I have been, since we talked about it, my TikToks are being served up. So I've been like avoiding any info because I want to watch it with a pure mind, with an open mind. But I'm very interested in what we've talked about, this phenomenon, right? Where parents being so permissive and allowing their kids to be so privileged without consequences or adult-esque maturity expectations, it has created a lot of little monsters running free across the world, across the globe. I'm going to strike that across the United States because very few cultures are as permissive as the American culture.
And I understand. I think, a lot of parents, if they were raised by, obviously the older generations. And so then it was kind of like, well, there was no soft and fluffy. And so then it's like, we want to go, I understand that you want to be friends and you want to be like, I want to be my kid's safe place. Like my rule in my house is tell me the truth and I won't be mad. Because my mom ruled with an iron fist. So I would tell these little lies about, where I was, I'm over at Lori's house. No, I was in a field with Boone's Farm. That's where I was. But I want my kids, but they're still like, my kids know I'm not your friend. I'm friendly. I'm not your friend.
Correct.
I am your parent.
Correct.
There has to be a
little distinction.
Yeah. And it's not fear as far as iron fist fear. It is, I don't want to disappoint my mom or my dad.
Right.
That's the fear that, that's what it is. That's that level of respect. And like, here's the thing, my kids are going to mess up. My kids are going to mess up. All of our kids are going to mess up. The difference is we are saying, you're going to own it. You're going to have accountability. This child you just have to watch it. And that's the thing. When I find like a real crime case, then I dive in and then I start watching all these other mean girl murders. There are some women out there who are,
vicious.
I mean, this one lady down in Texas, down in Dallas, she landed herself a doctor and then he dumped her and then he dumped her for a dentist. And this woman had the perfect life. She killed this woman in a parking garage.
Wow.
Hired a hit. I mean, you don't know who's coming for you.
Our friend Monique, good morning. I did watch that documentary, The Crash. OMG, a debate on this and getting viewpoints. Wow. So, and Jean said, I watched it too, really didn't believe the girl.
No. Especially with that bun in her hair at the end.
So and they said Mean Girls. Patrice said it's also on Hulu.
That's the one. That's the one that I was watching.
Okay, you're watching
yeah, that's what she's talking about. So you can go on HBO Max.
So it
or
breaks
on Hulu.
down individial episodes of high-flying offenders.
It talks about these different women because this is a trend. And that's the thing. It's so interesting. Look, it goes back to Mean Girls, right? So you talk about it's all these women now who have killed because all of these women at some point have been told no. And so that goes back to like girls who are mean growing up. It's because at some point they have never heard the word no. And it's like no one has popped them in the mouth. And I mean that like literally or metaphorically.
That's very true. They've never had their wings clipped. And we always like to say, and this is something that we've experienced, if you grow up in a bubble where everyone sort of knows, you rule the roost, you're the queen bee. If you ever step out of that said bubble for college, for a job, for a move of any sort, get ready for the real world to smack you in the face, because when you go to said community or go to that new company or the new town, your name and your reputation will not precede you. No one will have ever heard of you.
Yeah.
And so that's the one thing that we like to say is if you think you can't, reinvent yourself or start anew, you very much can, but you also have to accept that you're not going to have the writing of the coattails of your parents or the money or all the things. And so I think for a lot of young people, that's tough because they've been curated by friends and family to be known as, oh, well, she's a great kid because her parents are so-and-so. And for you and I, when we moved halfway across the country,
that's why I'm proud of us.
It was like, who are these weirdos?
Heifers. Who are these girls? But that's why I'm so proud. And that is why I think you and I let things, I mean, we may complain about it to each other, but we let things roll off our back. Like we literally are like, the duck, right? The duck smooth. You have to be, because we started from scratch. How many times we've had to reinvent ourselves? How many times? I mean, you moved to Washington State. You didn't know anybody. I moved to Texas. Didn't know anybody. My brother and I were talking about, it was interesting. So my brother, I love Texas. I would move back to Texas in a heartbeat.
I think Texas has so many pluses. The only downside, I can only think of one. It's the windiest state before Iowa.
Yeah.
So we already live in the windiest state. Second to Texas, we might as well have warmer weather.
And I lived in the Panhandle. So
beautiful state.
It's beautiful. And the people are amazing. They literally are amazing. And they blend the culture, like especially the Hispanic and Latino cultures beautifully. Right. So my brother was telling Gia, he said, it was the hardest for me. And he lived in Taiwan. He taught overseas for 2 years. And he said, that was nothing. He said, assimilating, going from PA to Texas was the biggest culture shock. Because it's such a labor. And then we were talking about
I believe that.
And we don't think of Texas as the South. I think the Carolinas, like I would never live in the Carolinas. Again, no offense to anybody living in the Carolinas, but my brother and I were talking about, because he lives in Maine now, and there is a semi-pro soccer team, and they sing a song that's basically like making fun of the rebel yell. Because they talk about like they're calling out. I mean, like, because if you go to the world, it's a whole different world. But I was laughing because he is starting, my brother's an academic. His wife is a creative. So he started doing creative stuff because he's like, it's, relieving some stress because he's a high pressure job. So he says to me, he goes, he's like in upstate New York. He goes, doesn't upstate New York, it always sounds fancier. Like, are you from the city? No, I'm from upstate.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So my brother said, when we said that we used to live in the Texas Panhandle, he said, why isn't that called upstate Texas?
I love it.
So he started this brand, and I can't wait till he has this website because I'm like, I'm buying everything. But he gives me this hat and it says upstate Texas. And I'm like,
oh my God.
That is the coolest
I love
thing.
that. That's very creative.
But he said it's true. Like, think about it. Everywhere else in the country, there's nowhere else called upstate.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because in Illinois, upstate is Chicagoland. So like if you're Chicagoland, you're 2 hours outside of it, but you're claiming you're a Chicagoan. And everyone says they're from Chicago. If you're anywhere near,
I know,
like the northern part of the state, which I find amusing because again, where I was, which is more gritty in an urban area in Peoria, I had more of a big city experience than all the kids in the burbs that were in affluent Chicago suburbs. So it's kind of an interesting dichotomy. Now, I will say, speaking of Texas, I'm glad you brought that state up. If you have not watched the new version of the spinoff of Yellowstone, Dutton Ranch is amazing. Must see
Is this
TV.
the one with?
This is Beth and Rip. They're
Yeah.
forging ahead and they land in Texas. And the thing you will love about it, it still keeps the authentic characters
Good.
of Beth and Rip.
What is
And
the
then
son?
they have the son who's
Yes.
all grown up now. He's
What's
in high
the
school.
streaming platform?
So I watched it on Paramount Plus. Now, fun fact, if you are a Walmart Plus subscriber to get your groceries delivered at a discount or pick up free, which we are, you get Paramount Plus for free.
Are you kidding?
Did you not? Have I
No!
not told you this?
No, I didn't know this.
Yeah, so when you go on the Walmart app, you can see on the side where there's the drop-down menu, just type in there Paramount subscription and it'll come up and then you'll get that for free because you're a Walmart Plus. See, stick with me and
She told me all the things about Sam's.
I'll
I didn't
get you
know.
clued in on all the perks.
I have to watch it.
Yes, so two things. You have to do Scan and Go if you're a Sam's Club person, and you have to get Paramount Plus for free
The
if you're a
tricks.
Walmart Plus person. The reason we do Walmart is because if you're like us and you're ultra busy, if you do enough deliveries or you do enough pickups, it really will almost pay for itself.
I do a lot.
Because we both are just, I mean, think of how much, when you talk about all the things women do, think about how much time we've wasted really wandering through aisles of grocery stores.
Well, it's literally miserable. And there's that trend that's going around. It's like my top 5 horror movies. And it's like the top big pet peeves. Have you seen that? Like we have to do it. But like my number one pet peeve though, is the question. It's not a pet peeve, but it's my top horror movie is what's for dinner? Like that is like, no one told me. Like no one told me that like long, and I'm blessed that I have all of my children and everything, but even my husband, what's for dinner? I'm gonna in the artery, like I'm gonna stop, let me alone. Like I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know. So last night I lost my mind. One of them children was like, what's for dinner? And I was like, ask your dad. Like I couldn't take it anymore. I could not take it anymore. So that's why when people are like, I can't believe you would do someone, an acquaintance of mine, she's like, that's just so lazy that you do grocery drop off. Listen, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. First of all, this is why I do it. It's none of your business, but I do it to keep me on budget because I like to spend only this.
And I appreciated when you said that because that's a very good point.
It's true. Like that's how I.
Because if we're just mindlessly grabbing things, it's
our bill is
$300 later, and you're like, I have nothing in my cart.
That's exactly right. And
It's
so
crazy.
it keeps me. So I go for I buy
that's
for the
smart.
week and I shop for the recipes, the meals that we're going to make. I don't just right. The other thing is this: I'm not going to the grocery store. Okay. To walk around, to have my heels clipped by someone who's not paying attention behind me with a grocery cart, and then to go and scan my own food and bag my own food. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's true. And I'll
I'm
tell
not
you
doing it.
what's so crazy.
Unless you give me a discount. Give me the employee pricing. If I have to scan my own stuff,
yeah,
I want employee pricing.
So everyone watching will relate to this. Every chain has its pros and cons when it comes to all the things you just described. So Walmart has one of the best scanners insofar as not doing all the things with the weight of the items and having the thing lock up. Hy-Vee is the worst. Hy-Vee always locks up because the scanner, you have to have the weight of your item perfectly placed in the bagging area. So, but the thing about Hy-Vee is you can use Apple Pay, so you can pay with your phone. Walmart, they won't embrace Apple Pay. So I have been in Walmart and then realized, oh no, I forgot my purse with the debit card because you can't pay with your phone. But the best all around, scanning is fast,
Sam's
barcodes are large, and everything except for paying for your bag is Aldi. Aldi. Scanners the best. Barcodes are big.
I totally like. I'm not laughing because you're so right because that's the stuff we look for now.
Barcodes are large, right? So you can just. I mean, Walmart and Hy-Vee, we've all been there. You're just like, where's the barcode? And I mean, think of all the extra time, like you described, that it takes, because when you get up to checkout, even if you get a person, they're at a pace that's like the dirty South, where everybody is, think about how slow everybody is. So, I mean, it's to the point where I'm like her, where you're so impatient, you want to just scan it yourself because you want to get out of there.
So I don't know if I ever told you this. So in 1982, I graduated from Holy Name of Jesus kindergarten. Okay. And I was like one of the speakers because of course, but there was a program, and in the program it said, I want to be, when I grow up, I want to be, and everyone was like a firefighter, a teacher, a nurse. Do you know what I said?
I know what you said. No, I know what, and I have a theory.
I said, I want to be a bag lady because I like watching the food go in the bags.
And your dad used to work at a grocery store.
My dad,
so see, he was your inspiration.
So my dad, when my dad was going through law school, my dad was the bag boy at the grocery store. This is why my dad, his arms are like river dance. Like if they use arms, he's like this, but he's bagging, and he is like. And he can do it like this, and he's like, all like, he's got to have it like, it's like Tetris in the back.
I love that.
But it was funny because when I loved, because they just got the beeping scanners when I was a little kid. So that was new. Like, so the conveyor belt, I was like, beep.
Do you remember when,
so now
back
I'm like,
in the day, when the conveyor belts were like injury prone because you could get your hand stuck under there?
Yeah.
So at the grocery stores, it was like, kids, don't touch the conveyor belts. Now, we wouldn't be able to have conveyor belts because some idiot would
lick it.
Yeah.
Put their face on it.
Or would get their arm, stuck in the conveyor belt.
Actually,
they have to ban them.
Mr. Telemundo has a mangled hand. He has a mangled.
Are you serious?
It's not mangled, but it's like, it's kind of from the airport, and he was a little kid playing around at the conveyor belt with the luggage, and his mom was like, don't do it, and he was like, okay, and then he did it anyway and got his hand stuck in the luggage.
Okay, so my husband in high school worked at KFC, and he has a bump, like a bone spur almost, from all the cutting of the chicken. Isn't that crazy? And one guy that he worked with cut his finger off, and he saw the finger, and then he said that changed how he was cutting the chicken, because everything was back in the those days in the 1900s. Everything was a free for all.
This is why I don't like anybody in my kid. Like, where's the finger? It's like the other night. So my younger two kids love like the nails and the press on nails. And there's a little girl at school, not a little girl. She's like in 6th grade. She started a little nail business.
That's awesome.
It's right. So she has
a little entrepreneur.
She was like painting nails. So, but anyway, I make sausage and peppers, green chicken sausage, peppers, and I think we had some red potatoes in it. So Aria wanted to, it's very healthy. Aria wanted to cut, and then Aria goes, oh no. And I went, what? And she's, because we were mixing it together. She's like, I'm down 2 nails. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
So
I'm down 2 nails.
As I'm feeding my family, I'm like, if anybody finds baby blue nails, just take that out
of
it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, no one was harmed in the process, but 2 nails were sacrificed. Okay, this is a great comment. Jean, I work part-time at Walmart, and when I shop there, I refuse to use the self-checkout. I'm not on the clock, so shouldn't have to work. They even have in the employee handbook not to do any work off the clock.
Okay.
So that's
nice.
That's one plus. So I will say, and hats off to you for working at Walmart, because I think a lot of people at Walmart are very disrespectful to a lot of the help or the employees. And what I mean by that is, I just see stuff around the store sometimes, and I'm like, okay, that was unnecessary, where people take stuff they think they're going to buy, and then they decide that it was like an impulse purchase. So they like dump their products that they don't want in other parts of the store. So like I've been in, like the checkout, and then you'll see like someone put some socks or a shirt that they decided they didn't want. And here's my thing.
I don't like that.
No, I don't either. Here's my thing. Like, return the stuff you're not going to buy back to where you got it. Take an extra minute and walk back to the store and return your cart.
That's because you worked in retail too.
True. Return your cart to the corral, or return it to a spot where it's, like right inside the store, and then someone else can take it. Because one thing that is annoying, I mean, especially where, again, the wind here is 150 miles an hour. If a cart is blowing toward other cars, that is crazy to think you could have your car dented by a cart. Now, I saw a woman at the Hy-Vee on Amesboro. This has been a couple of years ago. She lost control of the cart because of the wind, and there is a slope in that parking lot, and she was literally running after the cart. And I felt so bad for her, because that's like the kind of thing that could happen to any of us. But so in an attempt to save her cart from hitting another car, she probably hurt herself. No cars were harmed,
Did
but
she pull
people
a hammy?
were harmed in the process. I
I would have hurt my hams.
I've always said, I just told somebody this week, if you ever, this is awful, but if you ever hear that Amanda and I or anyone you know, was involved in some kind of like mass emergency shooting situation, I will be the first one hit.
Because you're so tall.
Because I'm tall and slow. I was always the first one targeted in dodgeball.
Oh, you were. So I would have gone. Yeah, you would have been a good target because you were so tall.
And my husband was like, "What? I never got hit." And I'm like, "Yeah, because you were quick and small." Yeah. He was like small, and and so when he was in high school, he was small. So it's so funny because I'm like, the people that are bigger hate dodgeball unless you're like the person who's like the quick, and dodgeball now is considered mean, aggressive, and bullying. So they banned it.
And Red Rover,
which we loved Red Rover. And I was terrible at Red Rover.
I mean,
would
you
always
had whatever,
let go.
Whatever beef you had, it was solved in Red Rover.
We talk about Red Rover in the show. That was like an iconic game because you would hold so tight because you wanted to clothesline. You wanted to clothesline.
Yeah.
Then if they got a really good run, you'd let go, and then they like fly into the grass.
In fourth grade, some girl was looking at my man, and I was like, "All right, Red Rover, let's go." Bring it over, Laura. Here we go. Like it was. I mean, it was like
that's the East Coast pronunciation.
Oh, that's what everyone
makes. We say it Laura.
You say how?
Laura. We say it Lora, even though it's Laura.
Well, I remember people used to make fun of me the way I would say Lauren Moss.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like it's just
that's AU. It's just distinct. Now my name has two different pronunciations, actually three. So a lot of people will call me Tara. That's especially the way a lot of African Americans pronounce it. So I've always answered. I've always answered to Tara. And then my flat Midwest A sound is Tara, like the very nasally A almost. And then the East Coast pronunciation is Tara. I can't say it, Tara. Yeah. Say it like if you just met me and you were from New York.
Tara.
Yes. Yeah. It's almost like a cross between Tara and Tara. So it's so funny that as soon as I hear somebody say it, you can tell I instantly know. So like when I first met her and you said my name more with an East Coast bent to it, then I was like, oh yeah, I already knew that you were from the East.
Well, it was the best. My brother was in when my brother was in the car, we were talking about, and he was like, because back home, remember, and you called me out for it before, you like laughed at me when I said when states. We call we call it like back home, we're like, we're going to states. Well, here it's like I'm going to state. And then he asked my daughter, he was like, when's your tournament? And I looked at him, I go, thank you. I was like, that's so nice to like
to hear it
because we say tournament.
Your native tongue.
Yeah, we say tournament. I remember being an anchor in Texas, and my co-anchor Walt at the time, he would say, because we would do we were a CBS affiliate, so we would have the NCAA tournament, and he was like, it's a tier. And I go, it's not a tour. And he was like, because he would write the number 2, and then he would write ER. He goes, say this. And I'm like, I cannot. That sounds so weird. And I'm like, Gilligan did not go on a 3-hour tour. He went on a 3-hour tour. Like he went on a 3-hour tour. It's tour done minute, right?
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Now, did your brother contain himself at the soccer game?
He did not. He gets, and it was like a 7-0. It was like he was still fired up. He was still fired up. He's very, very close with Gia.
That's really neat.
They're very, very close. So, no, he did not. He was wearing his DePaul jacket. So he was wearing this red, white, and blue because that's where he got his. My brother's highly educated. That's where he got his master's. So he went to University of Miami, his undergrad. All I see are like dollar signs. DePaul. He studied at Cambridge, and then he's smart. He's like and then he went got his PhD from Texas Tech. So he's also a Red Raider. So then my mom. This is the thing.
Oh my gosh!
Every team, every school, my brother went to. Like my mom expects the family to cheer for. First of all, I hate Miami. I'm a Notre Dame fan. We are Notre Dame fans. So when my mom started wearing, and my parents were like wearing Miami clothes, your brother goes there. Well, he doesn't play football there. I'm not cheering for Miami. And then it's like when there's the NCAA tournament, they're like today we're cheering for DePaul, Texas Tech. No, you can cheer for one school.
Oh my gosh. No, what about Slippery Rock?
They don't cheer for them.
Are they cheering?
No.
Okay, so this comment we wanted to share because it's so nice. And thank you, Alice, for always bringing a touch of positivity. Happy Friday, the start of Memorial Weekend. There are so many mean people out there. Some do need a smack in the face No pun intended to anyone, but so true. Dutton Ranch is awesome to watch. Watched all of Yellowstone. Love watching Beth. Agree. Bring back real humans instead of the self-checkouts. Agree. If you bag your own, you should get a discount. The Walmart here is always having trouble with their machines. It's a smaller one and the machines need upgrades. Even the employees say that. And that's true. There is one checkout in the self-checkout at the Walmart in Waterloo that I always end up at, and it never fails. There's always a card reader error.
Mhm.
And every time the employee comes over and says, you have to scan it 3 times to get it to work. And I always say, and this has been happening for years, and I wish they would fix it. And then the kid or the person goes, well, I can't do anything about it.
This is what I want to know. So for all of the places that have self-checkout, all of them. So you're thinking the Targets, the Hy-Vees, everywhere. Why?
Target has a lot of hovering.
That's what I'm saying. Why do we have the employee? Like, why?
Mhm.
Put them behind the register, because why are we have people standing there watching amateurs? First of all, we have zero training. We have zero training on these machines.
They hover over you like you're supposed to know how to troubleshoot
right.
the machines.
So
you know?
why are you getting paid to stand there and watch me?
I think
do all
it's
this?
more like that. I sometimes wonder, is it like theft prevention? Because allegedly they've had so many people stealing things that now they've made the machines so hypersensitive that it's actually insane that I have had people come over after I scanned something and then they have to like, now let me check your bag. Or and then I'm thinking, and again, I get it. It's sad that we've all been punished by the few bad actors who do take advantage. But I'm so conscientious that I have literally gone to my car and realized, oh my gosh, I forgot to scan something. And I immediately go back in. I get back in line. I go back through. I mean, I'm not trying to steal something.
I do the whole. So if you buy like pop and it's underneath your cart,
Right,
or like the toilet paper. No, I don't. Like I have to make sure when I'm walking out, I'm like, and I have to make sure everybody around me hears.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got it. I scanned it on the bottom. I got it. I had the receipt right here.
Funny,
and I walk out with the receipt like this.
Yeah, we like over explain. And the thing that I've been told, and I get it, if you approach said person waiting to check your cart and you do not have everything in a bag, they have been trained. If it's not in a bag, then you have you have to check it. So little tip, if you're at Walmart and you don't have a lot of stuff and you say to yourself, oh, I can just carry this out by hand. It doesn't matter. Just put it in a bag to save yourself having to be potentially stopped, and then have this person who, bless their heart, might be an advanced age,
right,
have to take a very long time to cross-reference everything in your cart. Yeah. Now, here's the beauty of Scan and Go at Sam's. There is no stopping. It automatically alerts the person.
That's a pretty
fascinating.
You just walk
out. You walk out.
Speaking of Sam, this is what my complaint is today. Where's the chicken salad? I went in there.
Oh, they don't have it at Sam's right now? Okay, have you tried the Aldi chicken salad with the cranberries?
I don't know. I can't.
It'll change your life.
I can't. Don't put fruit in my because it's kind of like
people. I love it.
It's kind of like people who put pickles in potato salad. Like, don't. That's not. Maybe like around Christmas time.
Now,
give me some cranberries at Christmas time.
The cheese round at Aldi with the cranberry. Oh, you can't
have
the
chicken.
Can't
have it. But the chicken salad at Sam's Club, it is divine, and I would put that. I would eat that on some Ritz.
And nothing I've yet to see, and I'm Midwestern to the core, and I've never seen a better potato salad put out than Fairway.
Okay.
Fairway Fairway's potato salad
mayonnaise
is so
based.
good. It's got a little sweetness to it.
Oh.
Fairway, and mayo. Fairway's potato salad is so good that I know many people from potlucks to barbecues who put the Fairway potato salad in their own Tupperware.
So I am a potato salad. I am a
that.
Potato salad snob because my mom makes banging potato salad.
Okay.
Banging.
Okay, Nanette.
And then like the best part is I like it when it's hot. Like when it's fresh out of the.
And you probably like it the German way where it's not sweet.
I do not like it sweet.
See, I like it sweet.
Okay.
In the Midwest, we add sugar to everything. We like sweet deviled eggs. We like sweet potato salad.
Eggs.
And that's not a surprise. You're not a Midwesterner. And I love, as I've said, sugar on my cottage cheese.
Yeah, right.
So it's
I've seen that before, but
it's sad that we tend to sweeten everything up here.
Yeah, no, I don't like the potato salad.
But my husband is with you. He's German and he loves a good German potato salad, and he likes the red potato where you sometimes have the skin still in the potato salad.
That's the only way to have it.
And that's definitely more traditional. That's
Yeah.
more of the German way.
Yes, and it's so when it's done, it's like the potato salad's still warm.
Yeah,
And then the egg, and like literally the egg, because she'll put like slices of eggs to decorate it.
That's
and then
good.
the egg is like melting in your mouth. Like, give me warm potato salad. Not sitting on the sun warm.
Served in a Longaberger basket
Served.
casserole. Her mom was an avid Longaberger basket collector, like obsessive, to the point where I was stunned that she had a showpiece basket that was $1,000.
Yeah, and
that's in the 1900s. That's like the price of, that was like the same price as probably your first car.
I would rather get something done to my face for that money. I mean, we had my brother reminded me, we had spotlights. They were lit. They were basketries. They were presented in china cabinets. It was like, and we were like, but we thought.
For those of you who know, the once famous, now infamous headquarters of Longaberger in Ohio, the entire building was shaped in a giant Longaberger basket, much like the Louis Vuitton store of today in NYC.
Is it still there?
I'm sure it is, right? I don't know. We need to
like, how do you resell? How do you resell that? How do you like?
Now I think they could just do like the Nanette, senior tours, because I feel like there's a lot of women that would want to revisit their days.
Think about that though. Let's go visit the headquarters where they make these baskets. Oh, it's a giant basket. And then they took pictures out. I mean, I remember thinking about it. I'm like, okay. I was just excited that she was gone for the weekend, because my dad would we were feral. Like, my dad would take us, we'd go get Pizza Hut, the deep dish. Then we go to TCBY. Right. And then we go to Blockbuster.
I mean, it was days. I mean, think of how wonderful life was when all you had to do as a kid and we didn't have cell phone distractions. So, I mean, just the joy of perusing the racks of Blockbuster to find, and then to discover they don't have any more of those. Every new release.
That's why my dad would get us out of school early. He would leave work early on a Friday and get us there before.
That is so cool.
But I think about how nuts we were. We used to answer the phone and we would be like, hello,
not having a clue.
So that's why,
on the other end.
That's why it's very weird. I still answer the phone the same way. Like, I don't like when my phone rings, but I'm still like, hello.
Now I do this is Tara, because my work phone is also my personal phone. So if I don't recognize a number, I'll say this is Tara, so that they know that they've reached the right person. Or if it's somebody like her that I recognize, we'll say hello.
We'll say hey.
Yeah, because we know who
but it's like, or certain people call, and the first thing I say is, what's wrong? Because it's like people never call. Like, and I don't like to call. But I remember going home.
What's wrong?
I remember I was like a teen, and my dad took us out for TCBY. I'm sitting there eating it, and then you rush in the door because you have to check the answering machine to see if it's blinking.
For sure.
And it was like the excitement, like, did they call? Did he call?
My gosh. Now, if you don't know, because some of you won't, TCBY was a nationwide chain that's an acronym for the country's best yogurt. So it was not as prolific in the Midwest as it was in the East and the South. So you may not be familiar with it, but for her, TCBY was like our version of Baskin Robbins. I mean, we had ice cream that was more frozen yogurt, but then we also had, you probably had Baskin Robbins too. And then we also had a big one that was very popular where I grew up. In addition to Baskin Robbins, of course, was Haagen-Dazs.
Oh, sure.
And Haagen-Dazs was amazing. If you had, a lot of those Haagen-Dazs are not in smaller towns. So for my town being a bigger city in Illinois, to have it, that was a treat. Yeah. The Haagen-Dazs.
I remember Adventures in Babysitting. It's based in Chicago.
Oh,
Can we go to Haagen-Dazs? I mean, that's what started
Adventures in Babysitting is such an iconic show. If you have a daughter or granddaughter who's young enough to not know that movie, it's worth a watch.
Watch the original. Yeah. They remade it. Like, they remake all of them. They have
the best lines.
Stray Dog. I mean, my brother and I, that's one of our movies. We do that one. True Beverly Hills. Can't Buy Me Love.
Oh my gosh.
Big.
Mr. Mom.
Money
That's
Pit.
Another one we love. Mr. Mom was so well done. And when you think back how the brilliant chemistry between Michael Keaton and Terry Garr, I mean, they had such, and that whole movie, so many elements of that movie are now, when we look back on it, so they're such like cultural touchstones, because that was a time where it was like they felt, in the way that movie portrayed Terry Garr, like she was letting her family down because of her career. And I think it's so crazy that we didn't realize watching that as young girls that we would someday be the person in the car when Terry Garr was being picked up to go to the airport when her kids were out trick-or-treating with their dad.
It's so funny because I thought about Mr. Mom. So a couple of years ago when I was asked to do some reputation management for a really big company, and they were out in California, and I had to fly out. I remember the guy said, I need you to fly out here. And it was like Halloween. And I was like, well, I'm going to miss trick-or-treating. And it was like, who cares?
You were Terry Garr.
I was Terry Garr, leaving on Halloween, wasn't going to be there. And, situation probably worked out the same. It was like a creepy,
well, and it's just all of us have been there, right? Where we've made sacrifices for the job or
you think it's what you want,
right? And all the thing. And so to think how back in those movie days in the 80s, all of those career trajectories were shifting for women because they had like big business. They had that movie with Melanie Griffith,
Working Woman.
Yes. I mean, isn't that crazy that those were the new entertainment ways to approach women breaking through the glass ceiling.
Baby Boom, remember she gave it all up to go have
and then
Country
of course
Baby.
Murphy Brown, the iconic sitcom where she was a single parent anchor.
Yeah, later on, and then she was called out by one of the but here's the thing,
Dan Quayle.
like Dan Quayle, that was somewhere along the way they were like, women you can have it all. I don't want it all.
You can, and you can't, and we
you
can't,
cannot,
because there's always trade-offs, right? And the one thing that we both say, and this is a good point to make, and it's not very well depicted in movies. It was in Mr. Mom, and that is, if you, like us, have to sort of sell your soul at times for a career and give a lot of and lose out potentially on a lot of the things that families, women especially, attend, like the trick-or-treating or the concert. If your husband is in a position where he can then fill that void, we didn't think that was doing a disservice to our kids. It was like a gift that Hector and Dave could be there sometimes when we could not.
Right.
And our kids they're not any worse off. I think in some ways they're better off because they see their dads as very nurturing people in their lives.
Well, because I don't like when people will say, oh, my husband watched my kids. No, your husband doesn't watch your children. Your husband is being a father. He's raising them. It's not like that, like, oh, you were lucky to have Hector, like, babysit. He wasn't babysitting his own children. He's watching his children. He's raising them.
Now, he may have taken them to Wendy's.
He may have taken. Oh my God.
Full disclosure. Okay, on a completely different note, we have to pivot to something that I wanted to talk about, and I think it's really important. You alluded to this in a post that you did today on your Amanda Goodman page.
Oh, yeah.
And the statement that I will make, and I think many of you, especially women, can relate to this. We see so many men and so many people, men and women, but primarily men. We see so many men running for school board, getting on the city council, serving on the boards and commissions, running for higher level political office, like her husband, Hector, for example, somebody who was actually recruited and successfully won a mayor position. I am blown away at the level of women who have, as we admit, imposter syndrome, and who would say, oh, I'm not qualified to be on that board or to run for that position. In contrast, there are so many men that I don't think really are prepared to run, who do think they should be in the position, and then they are delusional enough to think that they know better.
Yeah.
But it blows my mind at almost the level, and hats off to them, the level of chutzpah and confidence that some of these people have. And so that's why, if it were my choice and a position came open or available, I would encourage you to run, because you actually have the life experience, the connections, and also, as a former journalist, a unique understanding, as we like to say, of varying topics. We are a mile wide and an inch deep, but we know a little about a lot.
And here's the thing that you and I both know. Obviously, we got into television because we had an ego. We both say that. We had egos. We wanted people to, it's sure. That's what anybody, right? I think people get into politics because they have an ego. The majority of people,
1000%.
They have an ego. But here's the thing. You're not there to be liked or to get praise. You are there to be held accountable. You're there to work for the people. So if you are not ready, If you are not ready to sit in the frying pan and get, fried
But
up,
a lot
and
of
served
people
up,
have never had that
they've never had
taste
it.
of being in the fishbowl.
So you cannot.
Mhm.
So I read something recently where it was like there's a proposal for like one city council, a government meeting. They're going to do away with public comment. You can't do that. You can't do that. Are you going to have disgruntled people? Yeah, that's part of the job. Now, you have to protect yourself. Sometimes there's people who cross the line, and then those people have to be handled. You cannot. You work for us. You work for us. So if I want to come into a city council meeting or a county meeting or any kind of meeting and say, I have a question about this. Hey, I disagree with this. You're answering to me. I pay your salary that you get. I do. She does. Our taxes pay for these politicians and more. Most of them.
You've seen an up close personal snapshot of Hector giving up family time.
Very much so.
And making sure he's very engaged and responsive and never shying away from knowing that he might get a phone call or an email or stopped when he's at Randall's.
And for Hector, Hector was on television for Telemundo many, many years ago, right? Hector has been in the fishbowl.
What that's like.
As my husband, he's been in the fishbowl with me and been in the frying pan with me because he would carry along like for 20 years. So he knows how to do this. He also knows what's horrible is that he's dealing with a lot from previous stuff that wasn't dealt with. So he's dealing with things that he didn't even do, but he's like, well, I signed up for this.
Right. So he's not shirking the responsibility because he's taking on the things that he's inherited, which is the nature of the job. You have to then pick up the ball and carry it down the field.
So these people who are saying like, we don't want public comment, you are the same people that will block or ban you or somebody from a social media page when they just don't like what you say. Whereas I leave everything up. When people are like, I leave everything up. Like someone's like, you a heifer. I'm like, okay, like good. Like
speaking of trolls, the funniest thing that she and I were lamenting, there are people who have trolled us that now have shown up on pages that they don't realize that we control. And so it is very funny because there's a part of you that wants to just knee-jerk block the people, but we don't, because we're not helping populate content on pages with the assumption that we get to have editorial control. We're not doing that. And that's where you have to really be thick-skinned, like she said, and you have to be able to take it. You're not going to like or agree with everybody. And that's just the nature of public discourse. And we believe, because we will die on the hill of free speech, we believe that when you are walking into any public arena, that the freedom of speech is so paramount that were it not for those who fought for us as women to have it, we wouldn't even be able to play in the sandbox.
No.
If it were it not for some of the trailblazing. Now, I'm going to say this. There are 3 examples of former television news anchors that we admire and respect so much. Tammy Weinsack, Ashley Hinson, Tiffany O'Donnell. All 3 had post-television news career political pursuits. Tammy's was short-lived, but I highly respect her. And then we had Tiffany, still very much alive and doing well with her role as the mayor of Cedar Rapids. And then Ashley Hinson now is elevating her game from the state level to, the federal pursuits of both Congress and now the Senate. And I think that we uniquely understood, as you would if you were pursuing politics, we uniquely understand the dance of how you crystallize your message, how you reach the audience where they are, and how you learn that you're not going to please everybody. So there's an art of collaboration and compromise. And I think we as journalists had to do that every day because you were constantly barraged with every kind of fire hose of circumstances. And it was curating what matters, how do you deliver it fairly and accurately. And I think that makes one going through that world of television more astute when it comes to being able to cut through the noise and get down to the heart of the issues.
Well,
that's a unique skill.
Well, when we're called fat, we're called ugly, we're called all the things by viewers and saying nasty things. So we can handle all that.
Calling us.
So we have the thick skin. So if you come at us for superficial stuff where when they want to cut you to hurt you, so we can handle anything. So to me, it says, if you're somebody that's like, I don't want public comment, I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me I'm doing anything wrong. That tells me everything I know. And then you have an insecurity issue. You can't handle, you only want to be surrounded by like yes people. And I don't like that. Like, I don't like, for me, it makes me very uncomfortable when people are like, oh my God. Like I don't need hype people. Like that's just.
So one thing that is interesting too, is that we always talk about it. And I think many of you will appreciate and relate to this. When people say, and I hear this all the time, when people say, oh, well, I'm not on social media, or I'm not going to be, or sorry, I didn't know this happened or that happened because I've been off of Facebook, right? The very same people who say that will emerge on a birthday or a special occasion, and they will then share photos, and they've ignored all of your photos and all of your posts because they're not on social media. But the minute that their photo is out there or their life event is shared, they expect you then to like it and comment.
Yeah, no.
How are we so one-sided that we think that the only way that people should engage with us is on our terms? Like, I'm not going to be on social media, so I'm sorry, I'm never going to see your post and I'm never going to comment. But when I'm on there, you better, that's not how life works, because it's not, we're not all self-serving. We can't be all self-serving, because if you are self-serving, there's no reciprocation. So for me and for her, if we genuinely have relationships and friendships or acquaintances that we support, I'm not doing the like or the comment because I'm expecting, some kind of reciprocation. I'm sincerely supporting you, and thereby expecting that because you decided to get on this digital platform, that there are some norms or some, established respectful elements that we should abide by. And that is, you don't get to say, I'm so special that I only share my stuff and you should, support me, but I ignore all of yours and I never acknowledge all of yours because your opinion doesn't matter to me. Like that. I mean, think that's what it's like. It's like, I'm only going to share something because I want everyone to look at me, but I'm too busy to look at you.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Well, that's
what I see a lot of, because I've had people say to me, oh, I'm sorry, I'm never on Facebook, so I didn't know that you were almost killed in a crash or something. You know what I mean? Which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not being rude. But then I think to myself, okay, well then in that case, then don't ever share anything and expect us to be aware of or supportive of you if something unfortunate happens in your life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's very one-sided.
But they're too busy.
Well, people are all
I think they're on there and they're just not commenting.
For sure. Are you kidding me?
So what is your current state or mental reasoning when it comes to, would you ever consider running for political office? That's what I want to know.
Yes, because I would want to put some of these people in their place.
And truth be told, she's been approached many times over the years and encouraged to do so. The reason that she has hesitated, and many of you can appreciate this, and secondary, is we don't align with a political party. We're independents and always were as journalists, which all journalists should be. They're not, but you don't go, there was one girl locally who was a reporter, and she called me when I worked for the schools, and we were hosting at one of our buildings a Bernie Sanders rally, because all the politicians, regardless of party, can use school facilities for public use. She called and said, hey, I'm gonna be coming to that rally. And I said, great. I said, we're allowing all the media to come, and you can. And she goes, no, I'm just going when I'm off work. Why?
No,
I couldn't believe it. I said, and I thought, you're an idiot. And I didn't tell her that, but I was thinking that as a journalist, that is a disservice to the whole political process. If you take sides, promote a candidate by you showing up at a rally, when you're not working, you are promoting a candidate. You can't just say, oh, I was just there to listen. Well, then cover it as a journalist.
I think the issue is right now, there's so many politicians locally as well. It's all about them. So they want the title behind their last name. They want to say, I'm doing this. They're so out of touch, and they have no idea what's happening in the community. And they just want oh, look what I do. Just say I am, I'm a county commissioner. And then I want to get this big salary that doesn't, it's just, I think people are out of touch. I don't think people want to get their hands dirty. I don't think people want to sit in the frying pan. It's, people, there are people that have been targeted like one time, you know, it's awful. It's awful, awful, awful. And then all of these things went done. And then there's like these criminal charges. And I'm not saying like, so for me, I was like this. It's my daily life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I took a stand, because it's not about being popular. I think too many local politicians, they want to be liked and they want to be popular. And they want to like, look at me. They want to like, look at me. It's not about you. And that's the problem.
And
that's
if that's the end game, it's the wrong motivation.
Yes.
Of why you would pursue
and so then
office.
When people call them out for it, and then it's like, oh, you know what? You're not allowed to say anything to me anymore. So you're never allowed to come to this meeting anymore because you don't like me. It's just, it's ick.
So a couple of comments I wanted to share back to our original conversation about potato salad. Lisa, because this is so good. Lisa said, hot German potato salad is my favorite. I can't find it anywhere, even close to what my grandma used to make. So do you know of any restaurant or any store that sells it the way you like it?
No, potato salad is one of those things. It's kind of like meatballs, unless I'm eating it in Italy. Or I'm eating it at like one of my family's houses, like back home. I'm not ordering meatballs on a menu. I'm not ordering potato salad on a menu. Like, I'm not doing it.
And Jean said, so impressed you both remember so many movies and shows and specific lines said in them. Way to go. Now, we may remember a line in a movie, but we will not remember what we had for supper last night. I had to say supper just because that's me being Laura Ingalls. In her mind, when I say supper, it's like I'm on Little House on the Prairie. Which, by the way, we've talked about this. Watch Laura Ingalls, watch Melissa Gilbert's TikToks, and it's like a car wreck. You can't look away.
She's defending her predator.
No, she does. Husband. No, she dances around in these prairie dresses.
Okay.
It's just you got to watch it. She does a lot of dancing.
Have we lost it? See, I'm telling you, I worry about these people who are children's stars because then they're not.
Oh, of course. Because when I watch it, I question her mental state. It's so you have to watch it. You just
because prairie dresses are in. Like they're
very much in.
Well, and I'm not wearing them because can you imagine?
I would look like I have a maternity dress. Remember when the Express and Limited did those chambray dropped waist dresses? Yeah. I wore one. For 8th grade graduation, I'm like a shapeshifter. There is no shape. I mean, it's like what you said when your mom was doing those pre LuLaRoe, where everything is just like,
it's like, this is a belt, or you can wear this as a belt or a headband. It was awful.
Those shapeless clothes, if you're like me, and I think you're similar in this way.
I look like a hamburger.
I have hips. And so because we're more we kind of have the curves.
Yeah.
It's not flattering when you wear like the baggy top.
I look like the Hamburglar. Anytime I wear something, I look like the Hamburglar. I can't wear like the A-line. Like my hips and my backside are too big, like the Hamburger. You know what I mean?
Said Amanda Goodman for president. I love that.
Whitney,
yeah. There are so many people that have asked you to run for office, and I now think it's time for you to consider it. But knowing that that's your kid, you do still have young children.
I kind of want to see my husband, how far he will go, because I think he is really a steady leader. Like my mouth would get me in trouble. Like as far as like, so I think I really want to see my husband kind of, I kind of want to.
But we almost in this world of too much noise, right? And too many, we need somebody like you who would really cut to the chase and get to the point.
I mean, I do want to throw some Molotov cocktails places. Like I want to like burn some stuff down, figuratively. I'm not going to be doing that. Well, it is almost time for us to wrap up, and it is Friday. So my 4-letter word of the day is live. I want you to go out and live. Go find something that brings you joy, whether it's the farmer's market tomorrow morning, whether it's like eating a nice cinnamon roll, not worrying about those calories. You want to stay up late and watch a show. You want to go outside and run in the sprinklers with your kids. Go out and live this weekend.
I love that.
Thank you.
I think that it's especially important that during this Memorial Day weekend, that even though you're going to be doing all the things and you probably have plans with family as I do, enjoy something that you just do selfishly. For you, and it's neat to see my daughter. She's home from college, and she's really rediscovered the joy of reading, like what you said has brought you a lot of joy. So today I actually have a little bit of a longer verse. It's a great one. Philippians 4:7. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. So whatever's on your heart, if you feel something's heavy or you feel that you're having disruptive thoughts, just like pray that God can bring you that peace. And we love to say that only He can give you peace in moments where you should never be able to experience it because of whatever turmoil you might be facing. It's true that you can find peace even in the valley.
Yeah.
And that's
great.
And that
advice.
to me is only God given.
It's like I was about to respond to something hateful on my phone, and I'm not lying. My phone fell out of my hands, and that was the Lord. Like, nope. So, nope. No,
not today.
Not
Satan.
today.
I love it. Have a great weekend. Enjoy time. Hopefully you get Monday off. And we will be, are we coming back on Monday?
We're going to talk
Yeah,
about
we're
that.
going to come back on Monday, possibly Monday morning. So
Bye.
hope to
Have a good
see you
weekend.
for the holiday.
Thank you for watching the group chat. The show is brought to you by the empowering staff at Urology Center of Iowa, Tenoyer Gardens, Azalea Lane Boutique, and Splendor the Medical Spa.